With March Madness officially here, it's one of the busiest seasons for basketball scouts all across the nation. The NCAA tournament features top-flight talent like Zion Williamson, Morant, and R.J. Barrett, but our eyes will be turned elsewhere. Projected late lottery pick Keldon Johnson and the Kentucky Wildcats have a tough road ahead of them, but it's one worth following. Keldon Johnson Strengths at 6 feet 6 inches, 210 pounds. Johnson's physical attributes are the first of many strengths to garner attention. He's aided his size with a strong physique, quick first step, and explosive vertical leap. That said, his athleticism isn't even his premier calling card. That calling card would be his spectacular perimeter shooting. Johnson has great form, utilizing his size to leverage a high release point. Looking at his arms, both his elbow and wrist stay tucked and in line, giving his shots plenty of arc and rotation. Additionally, his lower body mechanics are impeccable. His legs give him plenty of spring on his jumper, making it difficult to block his shots. In this clip, Johnson's shooting ability is on full display as he knocks down a crucial three late in overtime against Seton Hall. It's almost textbook form. He squares his body to ready himself for the pass, makes a clean catch, and precisely releases and holds his form. Watch his landing closely. Johnson comes down on his toes, reminiscent of other great shooters. The stats back it up, too. Johnson knocks down a crisp 38.8% of his triples and ranks in the 83rd percentile either from a standstill or running off screens. It's rare that prospects with this ability to score from the outside come with complete and well-rounded offensive games, but Johnson absolutely sports one. While he's not known for his drive and kick playmaking prowess, I think Johnson has potential coming off the bounce. Around the 126 mark, Johnson displays an array of moves attacking defenders who close out with too much vigor. Mid-range pull-ups, runners, and floaters are all in his bag, and the ability to score at all three levels will be vital for him in the NBA. Adding to his near-limitless offensive versatility, the swingman is a tough matchup in transition. He plays with a remarkable level of control given his athleticism. Johnson also shows off an innate knowledge of lanes and spacing that will create open transition threes alongside NBA teammates. Overall, his skills in both the half-court and transition make Johnson one of the most complete offensive weapons in the class. Keldon Johnson weaknesses. Up until this point, it's all been about putting the ball in the basket for Johnson. There are other aspects to basketball though, and those areas leave room for improvement. Playmaking and defense will be two skills that absolutely have to improve for Johnson to reach his ceiling. Related, forecasting DeAndre Hunter, Nasser Little. While he's never been billed as an elite passer, his assist-to-turnover ratio, 1.6, 1.7, is pretty ghastly. Time and experience will help Johnson become more adept at reading defenses, but I predict as his career begins, he'll struggle to find ways to facilitate for his teammates. In the meantime, if Johnson works on his positioning for dribble handoffs, he can add new wrinkles to his skill set with relative ease. The other end of the court, Johnson seems to be on par with most of his peers. He has flashes of talent and his average of 1 steal per game are promising, but far too frequently Johnson finds himself disengaged off the ball. At the NBA level, coaching will undoubtedly improve this, but it's still a yellow flag. Given his transition skills, I'd like for Johnson to be more aggressive playing passing lanes. I think an improvement in that area could turn this weakness into a strength. Keldon Johnson. Conclusion. In conclusion, Keldon Johnson could be one of the better players available if he's still around when Charlotte is on the clock. If he has a great showing this March, it's likely his name has already been called. Next to Malik Monk and Miles Bridges, Johnson would be an enthralling guard-forward hybrid. There may be bigger positional needs for the Hornets, but they'd be hard-pressed to pass on such a talented scorer. Only time will tell if Mitch Kupchak feels the same way. Next, forecasting Jackson Hayes.